Well team, we'll continue on our work through the exam. This time we're going to look at question 2. Find the exact, which is important. Don't give a rounded figure, you're going to need to give it the exact figure. This will be in terms of e, as you can see from the question. And of the definite integral, the limits 0, 1, of 2 minus x bracket times e to the minus 2x dx. Now at this point you should have recognized when you read this that this is integration by parts. If you didn't recognize this, you're going to need to do a lot of review. You've got something here multiplied by something here. That's integration by parts. And in integration by parts you have to select something to be u and something to be dv dx. Okay. Now it's in this case you want to select 2 minus x to be u. Select as u the thing that drops out most quickly when you differentiate it, and you can see that when you differentiate u you're going to get minus 1, which is perfect. That's what we want. dv dx will be therefore the e to the minus 2x, and therefore v, we'd have to integrate this, so it will be minus 1/2 e to the minus 2x. If you're a little bit hazy on integrating functions of e, then perhaps you want to go back and look at that part of your textbook. Now, we know that this, in the question, is equal to, using integration by parts, u v minus integral of v du dx. Okay, and because we've got limits here, I would put my limits right around the whole thing. Do that right at the end, otherwise we might end up in confusion. I just think it's easier to find out everything in here first, whoops, everything in there first, and then apply the limits once you've done that. So that's what I'm going to do. One of you, I think, tried to do it separately and I think confused yourself and ran into two issues. So uv, u is 2 minus x, and we're going to times that by v, which is minus 1/2 e to the minus 2x. Then we're subtracting and we're going to differentiate v, which is minus 1/2 e to the minus 2x, and that's into minus 1. Ooh, whoops. Into minus 1. And we've got our limits there. So let's have a look at this. Next line. We've got this again. And then we've got a minus, we've got to integrate this. I could just maybe write it as 1/2 e to the minus 2x, and again put in our limits. Yeah, I'm doing this slowly, step by step. It's okay. Next one, I might say, I think I'll just leave that as is. To the minus 2x. Okay. Now we will integrate this 1/2 e to the minus 2x. So it should be, so I'm just now working on this bit here, and I'll pop that down here. So that is going to be, to get that we'd have to have minus 1/4 e to the minus 2x. Right, and I think this is where some of you went wrong. You got a little bit confused over your signage. Okay, so we've got this minus here, which I've got there. Then we've also got this minus here, which is a result of integrating this function here. Okay, gives us this. And so now we are ready to perhaps put in our limits. So I will just simplify this. Now, at this point, we're going to chuck in the limit, so we're going to chuck in our upper limit. So 2 minus 1 is 1, and then minus 1/2 e to the minus 2, so it'll be minus 1/2 e to the minus 2. I've just put a bracket around this, so this first bracket here gives us a 1, and we're timesing the next bracket by that, so it's going to be irrelevant really. Plus 1/4 e to the minus 2. That's a 4 there. Okay, that's our first bracket, and then we do subtract and do our lower limit. So 2 minus 0 is 2, so we're going to have a 2 into minus 1/2 e to the 0, because negative 2 times 0 is 0, right? Plus 1/4, it's a 4 there, whoops, 1/4 e to the, once again, 0. Alright, now let's simplify this. So on the first bracket, we're going to have minus 1/2 e to the minus 2 plus 1/4 e to the minus 2. In the second bracket, we're going to have 2 times minus 1/2 is negative. Negative 1 times e to the 0. That's e to the 0 is 1, so negative 1. And then the other one will be plus 1/4. Having real trouble with my 4s. It's a 4. Okay, now we put it all together. So this bit here is going to be, what is that? Looks like, I think, minus 1/4. Yeah, I think it's minus 1/4 e to the minus 2. And then we're subtracting everything from the bracket here, and that whole bracket adds to minus 3/4, so it's minus 3/4, so we could say plus 3/4. And that is our final answer, or we might even factorize it. We could take a quarter out, and we could have minus e to the minus 2 plus 3, or perhaps we could change the order of those. But that will be our final answer. So I hope that makes sense. I've got that as an exact value. Now, if you, where did people go wrong with this? Oh yes, I think some people, once they had got to this point here, I think some people thought they needed to integrate this second term again, and but you don't. You've only got one variable there, 1x. The quarter is part of that e to the minus 2x, so you don't need to integrate by parts again. So that's where someone went wrong. And another person stuffed up their sign, which I've already mentioned before. So those were kind of the major errors for people in this question. If you've got any further questions, do either write a comment or see me at school. Alright, take care.